All right, let's get this started. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another new edition of the Kissflow Quarterly Product Update, where we take a look at the new features we've been releasing in the last 3 months and also get a chance to walk through it. I'm Ezrella, and I'm a product marketing manager at Kissflow. And I'm so excited to be with you here today. Now, if you've been paying attention at all, you'll know that we've had some great releases over the last few months. So, we have a ton of cool stuff to go through today. But before we hop on to that, for anyone who is new to one of these webinars, I just want to quickly give you a heads up on how you can interact with us today. So first and foremost, take a look at the Kissflow community. I've provided the link here. You can go and sign up if you aren't already a part of it. If you're new to Kissflow, it's a great place to stay on top of everything related to Kissflow. You can get your doubts cleared, interact with us, and sometimes there are prizes attached to your activity. So I urge you to go ahead and access it. Please log in and get into community.kissflow.com. We love questions at the end of the webinar. We regularly try and take some time to do some Q&A, so you can submit a question in the Q&A panel at any point during the webinar. It'll be on the right-hand side of your screen. And also during the course of the webinar, if you find something that you really like, please react with the emoji so that I know that, okay, this is something you're excited about. And then speaking of questions, I just want to let everyone know that the number one question we always get is, hey, can I come back and look at it later on? Like, we'll be sending you the link to the recording of this webinar afterwards. So I want to assure you that, I will be sending you the recording. It will reach your inbox in a couple of days. You can share it with other users of Kissflow in your organization, and you can everybody can participate and take a look at this. So I'll make sure it gets to your inbox. So yep, with that, let's walk through our topics today. So mostly we're going to focus on the new features that were updated in the last quarter. So I'm going to have some slides for you, as well as I also want to jump into the product itself and actually walk you through some use cases and some demonstrations of how these new features work. It will for the because we are always at a short of time. I make sure to have very simple use cases. It's just like a foundation for you to understand the logic behind these releases that we've had. So yeah, so that you can take it back and you can apply it in your use cases back in your company. So whether you're very new to Kissflow or you've been using Kissflow for years, we want to make sure that you have the latest and greatest when it comes to resources. So that's why community comes in. You can take a look at the documentation of these features as well there. Yes, so with that, we can get started with this session. Before we jump into the new stuff, especially if you're new to Kissflow, I always like to start with, by answering this question: what is Kissflow? And the best way to think about what Kissflow does is to really think about the problem that we're seeing in the world and in the market and how we're trying to solve them. Traditionally, business teams depend on IT teams to build a variety of custom applications. Now, these conventional software development methodologies are usually not able to keep in pace with the speed and the scope of these needs from business users. And additionally, most businesses, they have a lack of adequate personnel and skills that's absolutely needed to build these enterprise level applications. Now, Kissflow solves exactly this problem. You have the power of no code that answers your process building, your process automation, your project management, and the needs of and the power of low code, where you can build full featured applications with the help of AI without having to start from scratch. Now, the point here is that you don't need a huge team of developers or engineers, which is essentially IT, to build the massive application that's key to your businesses. Now, as a business user, you may be a leader in HR, or you're a process owner, or you're a leader in finance or business, and you know exactly what you want out of an app or a process. You are at the center of the problem and you know how to get there. You're much more functionally adept. And you also know the bottlenecks which is stopping you from achieving your goal. Now, instead of being dependent on IT teams or a band of developers, where application will definitely take about 6 months to, to see the light of day. What if you had the tools to build it out yourself, something that does not require a lot of coding skills and gets the job done in a couple of weeks rather than months? This is exactly how we solve the problems, and this is what Kissflow does. If you're interested in checking out about low code and no code and how we cater to citizen development in organizations, head down to kissflow.com/events. I'm going to leave the link down below. Head down to kissflow.com/events to check out how our in-house experts talk about how we are solving these problems with Kissflow. Some really cool conversations there. This could really benefit your organizations as well. All right, with this, now let's get into the product update itself. All right, let's take a look at the first feature that I have for you, which is child table import controls in processes. Now, this was a very highly requested improvement to Kissflow process forms. So, very happy to share this with you. So, all this while there was a bit of a restriction for flow admins in terms of access controls. So now we've recognized the need for a better control, and we've introduced this option to import data into your child table. So I'm going to quickly show you how this actually works. You probably might have already started using it, but if you haven't, if you've missed this particular feature, I'm going to show you how that works. I've already set up a form. So this is, okay, let me go ahead and delete this so I can show it from the scratch. Right, I have a very simple, a very basic form that I'm set here. I'm going to show you where this particular feature comes in. All you have to do is click add table, and as you can see, it says enable table import. Now, in a lot of cases, now this is a very simple form, but in a lot of cases, particularly in very specific use cases which involves a lot of numbers and data, I'm sure that most organizations, you maintain it in an Excel sheet, right? So it's, instead of sitting and typing through every little line of inputting data manually, we figured you can just upload the sheet here, and then the table gets updated, right? So I'm going to show you with a very simple table that I've already created. So I'm going to show you how that's done. Just bear with me, it's going to take a couple of seconds. Just going to go ahead and let's give in a date of claim. Can I give a number which is amount to toggle manager? Yes. So this is what I've been looking for, and this is perfect. Just gonna go live. So as you can see, the table's here. I'm just gonna fill it with Charles, and date of request is 7. So I already have a CSV file, so I'm just I'm just gonna go ahead and upload it. But as you can see, you don't have that import option here yet, right? So I'm just gonna go edit the process. I'm just gonna go enable this. I'm gonna go live. And now, as you can see, I have this option to import CSV. So I'm just gonna take it from my device. I have it here. I'm gonna map some of the fields and choose yep, and with that it's done. So you should be able to accomplish this with a few simple clicks. You can upload a CSV file so that your data gets uploaded into the child table. So that's it about this feature. Let's move on to the next one. Enhance collaboration in process forms. Now, all this while, when you have to collaborate with someone inside process, you do an either either you write down a comment or you sort of tag them. But now we've introduced a new feature where you can actually assign a particular comment, and it'll show up as, it'll show up in a different tab for that particular user. Now you can, while all of this was getting, you can create, you can upload an attachment, you can show your emotion using the emoticons, you can add emojis, you can, like I said, you can mention, tag, and tag people who are the participants in this particular process. So what we've added here is that you can assign comments to mention people inside this process. I'm going to quickly show you how that's done and where exactly you can access it. Let's take this very form, for instance. So I'm just going to go ahead, open this. I'm just going to go. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say Steve. Okay, wait, let me submit this form. Right? So as you can see, this particular form is in process. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and assign it to my colleague and tell him, hey, take a look at this. And I'm going to add it here. So it says it's assigned to Steve Rogers. Now let me submit this. So I'm going to show you how it will look if you are Steve Rogers and if a comment has been assigned to you. So we have this new tab here, which is assigned comments, where someone else has assigned it to me. So I've gotten a comment and it's been assigned to me. So the minute it gets assigned, it's here. It gets populated here in this tab. So if you have mentioned more than one user, you can assign the comment only to one of them from the drop down in a check, like you were able to see Steve Rogers. So if you have multiple people here who are part of the process, you can choose only one of them and you can assign that particular action to only one of them. Now, if you want to resolve this particular comment, I'm going to go here. I'm just going to hover over this and there is a tick mark here. So I'm just going to click on this and it's resolved. So this is going to move away from my my queue. So like I mentioned, where you can find these assigned comments, it's one of these assigned items. If you're part of that workflow, it'll get assigned here. Assigned comments will show up here. Right? Now, there are a few rules that you might have to have in mind. Like I mentioned, if you have mentioned more than one user, you can assign the comment only to one of them from the drop down that shows up. You have to mention a participant in order to assign a comment to them. You have to mention it, right? And also, a comment cannot be reassigned to another user once it has already been assigned. Like let's say I have Clara in this workflow. I've already assigned it to Steve Rogers. I cannot move it to Clara. So, and the last rule is that only the comment assignee and the user who initially assigned the comment can resolve the assignment, right? So only the person who has been assigned and the person who has assigned it are the only two people who can resolve that assignment. Like I said, the tick mark, you can go and click on that. So only the person who's assigned and the assignee can resolve that assignment. So yeah, I hope this was useful, the way I showed it. So I'm gonna that's it about enhanced collaboration in process forms. I'm gonna move on to the next one, revamped integration builder. Right. Now, uh, over the last quarter, we've seen that we've been doing, you would have seen that we've been doing a lot of revamp in terms of how our app builder looks, our form builder looks, and I'm excited to show you how an integration builder looks like right now. So the revamped integration builder, it comes with an infinite canvas. You can create your integration workflows without constraints. We've sort of moved the a property panel to the right side of the builder. I'm going to show it to you in a couple of seconds, and um, you might have already seen this, so I'm just going to give you a little bit of a refresh as to how the new revamped builder looks like. Another thing that you can also expect out of this new revamp is that it simplifies error management. So you can sort of quickly look at a comprehensive list of errors that happens in your integration configuration, and it's easy for you to navigate in that space. So this is what we've brought up. So I'm going to show it to you how it looks like. So I'm going to go to integrations. So I'm going to show you how a new integration looks like. I'm just going to create. So when you're creating a new integration, this is how it'll look like. This is what we call an infinite canvas, as you can see. So you have your controls here as well. So you have all this space to build and sort of manage how your builder looks like. Simply click on this. It will fit the view to your screen and you can start working, right? So when let's say you're creating a new an integration, this is how it happened. There's a split screen, so you can see what you're doing, your trigger on the left, and the action. It's you can configure this particular integration on your right. So this is what I meant by we've relocated the properties panel to the right side of the screen. This is what I meant by that, right? So once this is how it looks like. So I'm gonna show you how an actual integration looks like. So like you see, I've created, and this is how you go about doing configuring your integration. I'm also going to show you how that the error management is sorted. So I've done this on purpose. There is an error in this particular integration. I've not mapped the field correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on turning on the integration, and automatically it tells me where the error is, and it points out where exactly that error is. So this is what I meant by error management, and it will tell you where exactly the problem is. There's an action step that was not tested and skipped or not completed. So I can go ahead and check where exactly the problem is. So particularly when you have an integration that runs for like 7 or 8 steps, it's easy for you to get lost or sort of create a manual error. And instead of earlier, it used to be like, okay, this integration is failing, that's it. But now we've got a error management system where it'll point at a place exactly where the problem is, so that you don't have to spend a lot of time looking for that error. It gives it straight to you. So this is what I meant by error management. And it sort of throws it here as well, and it'll also tell you where exactly the problem is. So yeah, this is the revamped integration builder for you. I hope you try this out, and I hope this has been helping you out already in your integration use cases, and let us know what you think about this. All right, with that, let's move to the next one. Sub items, trigger, and actions. So All this while, you were, of course, you know what a sub item is. We came out with that feature a couple of quarters ago. Now, what in this feature, what you can do is you can set up actions and also customize them according to the activities that are performed inside a sub item. Now, if you're someone who's been managing interconnected workflows across various boards and processes, this feature is going to really help you out. You can automate workflows and actions with your board sub items. You can also automate the creation and assignment of sub items for a better work, for a very streamlined workflow. So these are the two action items that we've come out with. So I'm going to show you how this works. All right, for that, I need to show you how a process works. Um, so this is the process that I already have in mind. I'm going to use the same use case, right? So what I've done is sorry, let me show you. So what I've done is, when an item completes its workflow, the process that I showed. So when that form completes that workflow, I wanted to create an item inside a board, right? This is pretty straightforward. Now, what I also want is I want to create a sub item inside that board with the line item of the table. So every sub item should have the line item of the table. So I've sort of pre-configured this. I'm just gonna show you how that works. So of course, let me show you. So what I've done here is, this is pretty straightforward. I've just linked it to the board. Not a lot. I haven't done a lot here. It will just create an item inside that board. So this has been done. Now, this, let me show it to you. Oh, it's taking a bit of a time. All right. As you can see, there are two actions here specifically for sub items. I just create a sub item and update a sub item, and I've done create a sub item here, right? That's what I've done here, and I've already pre-configured it. I want a particular, that child table that we created, I want every line item to become a sub item for me inside the card in the board. So let me turn this on, and the best way I can show you is, so I have this board already, and I've tried this out. I've tested it out before. So I'm going to show you how that result looks like, right? So it's a very simple, like it creates a card with not a lot of fields here. So it just gives a summary, which is the title. And as you can go see here in sub item, it creates a sub item here for me. Well, this is, let me check. As you can see, it says claim details, and then it gives a particular ID. Of course, I haven't given a particular name for that, for each of the lines, but this is how it creates a sub item inside. So let me show it to you. Okay, this was before. Yeah, as you can see, it creates a sub item for me inside. So this is how you can configure sub items and actions, triggers and actions in the Kissflow integrations. This should really help you out if you're, like I said, if you've been sort of using a lot of processes and interconnected processes, workflows with boards. It sort of helps you keep a track on certain items that you really want attention to. you can update a sub item directly. So you have those triggers and actions that's available to you in integrations. So yeah, that's sub item triggers and actions for you. All right, moving on to the next item, we have data backup in Kissflow. Um, Now, it's common knowledge that data backup is absolutely essential to safeguard your data, in case, if it should it ever get lost or security breaches, or for one of the main reasons, which is to meet your annual audit requirements. It makes sure that your data is secure, it's accessible, and it sort of makes sure that there is an operational continuity. Now, what Kissflow offers is this data backup process is three things. It sort of allows you for biannual backups for super admins. You can, as super admins, you can initiate a data backup every 6 months. The second thing is you can align data backup to specific needs of your company, including what kind of storage method or a mode that you're going to use. I'm going to show it to you in a couple of minutes. The next thing is, your backup file management. How exactly are you going to store your backup files, and also category based data selection. What are the kind of data that you want to back up, right? And of course, as a backup history, you'll be able to see a detailed log of all the previous data backups that has been performed. Like I mentioned, there are four different types of storage modes that we offer for backups, which is in Google Drive, in Amazon Simple Storage Service, which is S3, Google Cloud Storage, and Kissflow Backup. So Kissflow Backup, it gives a downloadable link via email. And in terms of the kind of data that you want to store, of course, you have your user and group data, your transactional data, audit log data, and attachments in the form of in attachments that are part of processes, boards, and data sets. Now, so like I mentioned, this is something that you can do once every 6 months. So this is something that, as super admins, that you need to have in mind. If there are, how do you go about notifications, how do you set it, so how you can monitor your data backup, when was the last time you've done it, all those have also been linked into this feature. So in sort of managing these data backups, you might have a lot of challenges, like I'm going to tell you how you can sort of make sure that you have a smoother process. Let's talk about backup delays. Delays might occur when there's a huge or a large data volume or system loads. You need to have in mind that backups should never be interrupted once it's been initiated. It's going to take its sweet time, but it's going to get you to that point where it backs up, it's fully done. So please don't interrupt it when it's happening. There are storage authentication errors that might happen. So this will happen when cloud storage accounts aren't correctly authenticated. So you need to verify your access credentials and permissions correctly every time. File location and upload errors also will happen. So if your given file location is not found in the data, it cannot be exported. So you need to be very careful about these three things. And of course, all these, whatever I'm talking about, everything is already available in the community. You can go check out the help docs. It's going to help you through every step of the process that you're going to go through. So I'm going to quickly show you how it's done. Right, so where you access it is in your account administration. Come right here, you have something called data backup here, right? So this is how you start your configuration. It's gonna ask you for the 3 steps, like I mentioned: authenticate storage method, how are you gonna manage your backup, select data categories. And like I mentioned, you can back up your data only once every 6 months. So I'm going to start configuration. So I'm going to choose my storage mode, which is send download link via email, because I can use my Kissflow account here. So once once the backup is complete, you will receive a downloadable link and you can store it. Um, you need to download that backup file as it will expire in 7 days. So you need to have that in mind. Next is manage backup. Now, how are you going to download this data, right? So uh, let's say you have about 2 TB worth data that you need to download. Now, when you click one of these options, it's going to split that 2 TB into 24 GB packages, right? So every package is going to have 24 GB worth of data, and then it's gonna come up in a zipped file for you. So I'm just going to choose this. And in case you want to encrypt your backup file to make sure that it's an added layer of protection, you can select this, and you can set a password of sorts. So I'm just gonna remove it, and I'm gonna click next. Now, the third is, what kind of data category do I want to store? So I'm going to choose user and group data. I also want transactional data. I want audit log data. So this includes 1 year's worth audit log data in the flow and account levels. So I'm going to click this as well. Um, Attachments, for me, I really don't want attachments, so I'm just not going to do it. But in case you want attachments in all the flows and processes and boards and everything, whatever attachment's been done, and you want to back up that as well, you can go ahead and click it. But I'm for this for the sake of this webinar, I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to click save and exit. All right. So what happens is, at this point, it starts backing up. It takes quite a few quite some time for this backup to be done. Unfortunately, we'd already finished a data backup for this last a couple of months ago. So I will not be able to sort of exactly show you how it works, but this is the screen that will pop up for you. So it will also give me a reminder of sorts when the next backup will be available, which is on 24th September this year. And it will also tell you the last backup details, which is what were the data categories that were backed up last time: user group data, transactional data, and audit log data. So this is how you go about data backup in Kissflow. I hope this is something that's absolutely important, and I hope you guys get to try this out and see if you can. It's a really good best practice, I would say, to sort of have a data backup every 6 months. This way, you're in control of your data, and you can make sure that there's no security breaches, and it helps in a lot of other ways too. If you're an admin, and in terms of audit related work, this will really come in handy, and I hope you get to try this out today. So as super admins, it will be available for you here in account administration, so please check it out. All right, with that, let's move on to the last feature of the day, which is decision tables. Now, if you're a user of, you're a user from the BFSI segment, you know that decision trees and decision tables are something that's absolutely necessary for you to build some of your processes. Like, for example, you want to check loan eligibility criteria, you want to be able to create that sort of a table to give you the results where you can pre-configure your conditions and the results that you want. So it's easy for you to run that process every time. So we've introduced this into the Kissflow apps. In a little while, I'm going to show you how to actually set this up and how it actually works. But before that, I want to talk a little bit more about how the decision table works for others who would like to use this in different use cases. Now, what is a decision table? It's sort of when you're particularly dealing with a lot of input values and business logic, you need to evaluate conditions for each one that can be sometimes challenging, especially when those conditions are subject to change over time. Now, what decision table does is it sort of streamlines this entire process. It gives you a very visual and organized way to analyze the combination of conditions and results. So in Kissflow, the decision table comes in a very in a sort of a tabular format. It makes it very useful for you when you're configuring multiple conditions that can impact big decision results, right? So I'm going to show you how that works. And I've already sort of created one, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create one from scratch. Okay, so where you'll find it is in the logic part of your left panel. So you just create, I'm just gonna say trial decision. Okay, now you have a table which has conditions and results. So what you do is you go ahead and create a condition that you need. For example, I'm just going to replicate what I've created here. So I'm just going to go with age, salary, loan amount, and interest rate. Okay. Right. So this is what I've created here. You can also go ahead and give the conditions in terms of if the age should be greater than, lesser than, all these conditions you can specify. I'll show you how you can set that up. Right now it's edit condition. So you can choose an operator here if it should be equal to salary can be seen here. What kind of operator that you want to do? Do you want to do greater than, or even give a range? So that's something that you can specify as well. Yeah. So this is how you set up, like how you go about like fixing your decision table. Now, for the purpose of this session, what I've done is I've already created a decision table. So I'm going to show you how it actually works. As you can see, I've created a decision table. I've input a lot of values. I've also tested it here. So I'm just going to go and say marketing and the employee level is at 3. It'll give me what I've already preset, the condition and the result that I've already preset, so that you don't have to go ahead and look into a different resource and then input that value every time you run a process. So it's already there, it's fed into the system. So now let's look at it. I've also put this in a data form so that it sort of helps you collect the data for every process that you run. It sort of helps you with that. So I've put it in a very simple data form. And what I've done is like you can see the department, employee level, and I want the eligibility percentage here. So in this part, I've written a little bit of code. So I'm just going to show you what's done here. I've already pre-configured this. So as you can see, it's simple JavaScript. I want it to calculate the preset conditions and results that I want. It's just gonna give me an output of that result. So I've written a small code here for this particular button, and I'm gonna show you how it works in a page. So I've also like you can see, I've simple drag and drop. I dragged and dropped a form here. Let me do it from scratch. I'm gonna go and put a form. Sorry, my apologies. Yeah. So what I've done is I've already added a form here, and I've also uh, I've set up the data form here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give save and preview. So it's I was testing it already, so I'm just going to go ahead and give sales, and the employee level is at 3. Let's check the eligibility. It's 0.9. So this is something that I've already set up here, right? So I've set it up here, and that's what shows up in the result. So this is how you can set up a decision table, and this is how you can also incorporate it into your process or any of your forms. So I hope it sort of gave you an idea how to go about it. Now, what is the advantage? Why do you need these decision tables? I'm going to give you a quick insight into where it actually comes very helpful. Now, it's going to help you streamline your business logic a lot. This particular decision table, it gives you a clear and structured approach for whatever kind of, even if it's a complex business logic, it sort of streamlines this entire process. Um, you have readability and maintenance. It's easier for you to understand and maintain a complicated decision making process because it's already pre-fed. Like I mentioned in the beginning, the biggest use case that we found is mostly in BFSI. Like for example, loan disbursement. This comes in very handy. You don't, because every so often the interest rate changes, so you can just add it to the decision table, and it can a lot of people who are using this processes like loan managers, they can quickly check the eligibility in this process. So we found this use case in BFSI a lot, so it's going to help you. It sort of helps you in an agile decision making process. It's going to make your life a little more efficient. It's going to give you a visual and organized representation of how that entire process should look like for you. Like I showed the data, the decision table, a data form, and how do you input it in a page. So you don't have to go back and look at all calculations. It's already pre-fed and it's ready for you. And also you don't need a specific developer to help you out with this, to fix this in an Excel sheet or constantly maintain it. It's very easy, like I just showed it to you. You just have to input your business logic and you're sorted. So these are some of the advantages of using a decision table. I hope you are able to understand and and I hope you can take this back to your organization, especially our clients who are from the BFSI sector. Please let us know what you think. Because with your inputs, maybe we can make this a little bit better, and we'd be more than happy to hear your suggestions. And yes, so that is decision table for you. With that, we come to an end of the the product update session today. I hope you were able to take a look at some of the key features we've released. There were also a ton of enhancements that went out. So do go check out community.kissflow.coms, and there you can take a look at product updates. You'll know what we've been up to in the last quarter and every other day. So yeah, that's that. And I hope you can tell us what you think about some of the features, because your inputs really matter to us, because only then can we enhance the platform for you and make it extremely user friendly, like you always wanted. Yep. With that, I would like to go to the next part, which is if you've been a long standing user of Kissflow, we would love to hear your reviews about what you think about the platform. It helps us to stay on top of the market and also give you the results that you want. And it helps us enhance our platform. It helps us do the research that is needed and work on the product itself. So if you haven't already left a review for us, we would love to hear your thoughts. I'm going to drop in a link right now. So this will take you to a page where you can either give us a review in G2 or Capterra or even Gartner. And these reviews really help us stay on top of everything that the market needs. And with that, let's move on to the Q&A. I'm joined by a few of the product managers who have been the brain behind some of these features. So we will do our best to answer any technical questions that you might have for us. And yeah, the floor is open. You can go ahead and give us your questions. I can already see some questions coming in. So if you have any more questions, please keep them coming. We're going to try our best and answer it for you. And yes, I hope you enjoyed the session. Let's move on to Q&A.